G'day guys and welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to talk about two more offerings from Discovery Optics. So Discovery Optics has been a supporter of the channel for quite a while now. I have quite a number of their scopes. Now I'd have about 5 or 6 Discovery Optics scopes. They are pretty bloody good, and that's why I kept showing them on the channel. They're not, you know, Vortex razors by any means, but they are definitely up there, especially for the price point. I think they are a pretty good value product. So these two here are the two latest ones that Discovery Optics has sent me to use and test and review. So just want to give you a quick overview of all of these two before I actually give you in-depth reviews on each. So on the left here we have the HD Gen 2 4-24 by 50 first focal plane, and on the right here we have the XED 6-36 by 56 first focal plane. Now you can see there's a massive size difference, and I'm not sure the camera's really picking up how obnoxiously big the one on the right is. There you go, that gives you some more of an understanding of how big that is. That is a big scope. That is an absolutely honking scope. They both have pretty similar specs. So on the left one here, you get 34 mRad of elevation adjustment and 17 in windage. The one on the right there, you get 35 and 18. So you get one more mRad in both elevation and windage, so not much difference there. The main difference being obviously one on the right is 36 power, the one on the left is 24 power. The one on the left here is a bit smaller form factor from the one that's on my 22 target rifle at the moment, which is a 5-25. This is a 4-24. I'm going to put that on the 22 and just give it a go and see which one I like better. I may end up leaving that one on. I do also like having 25 power on my 22 just for some of the shoots that I do. But, you know, is one power really going to give me an edge? Probably not, and it's probably more pertinent to have the low end being 4 instead of 5. So obviously I'll test that. I'll let you guys know how I go when I do the in-depth review on that, but that has a very good form factor. That's a typical size of a scope. That one on the right, as I said, is bordering on ludicrous of how big it is. So let's talk about this one for a second here, and I'll grab this spec sheet so I can read off it. So it's actually a 35mm tube instead of a 34mm tube. The one on the left here is a 34mm tube. So 35mm is not exactly standard. I mean, it may be becoming more and more standard these days, but I typically see things mostly in 34mm, not in 35. So, you know, bear that in mind if you do want to use aftermarket rings. They do come with fairly good quality rings, way better quality than what they originally came with, and Discovery Optics is really trying to lean into, you know, giving you a lot of extra stuff in the box. So these ones are going to come with, you know, your scope mounting kit, which like that levels everything up for you, which they're awesome. I use them at work all the time, and they give you pretty good scope rings in the box. I've touched on that before in other reviews. They're actually really, really good. Now these obviously are 35mm, so they're going to go with that, but if you wanted to use aftermarket, you would have to find yourself 35mm rings. Now the weight on that is absolutely ridiculous. It's 1,287 grams. That's heavy for a scope. To put that in perspective, my Loophole 3-15 is 530 grams. You know, most of the Vortex line, you're probably sitting at about 800 to 900 grams. That is huge, but also that optic is more aimed towards comp shooting, I would dare say bench, that sort of style. That's probably not pertinent on a hunting rifle. I dare say it's going to be a little bit too large. And the field of view on it is, so at 100 meters, you know, you have got 5.9 meters at low power, and at the high power it's 0.9 meters. So that's your field of view. To put that in perspective, this other scope on the table here is 9.6 meters and 1.5 meters. So it does have a much narrower field of view than the other one. Now that may be a positive or a negative depending on the style of shooting you're doing. You may want to have less field of view because you're shooting target, which, you know, that could help you. If you're shooting, you know, hunting or, you know, NRL, PRS, that sort of style of shooting, you may want a wider field of view at your different ranges. That's something that you would have to decide for yourself. I can't make the decision for you, but that's just something to consider with that. So as per with every other, you know, Discovery Optics stuff, it is, you know, it's nitrogen filled, it's shock proof, it's fog proof, you know, all that sort of good stuff. So look, I'm not going to go too much in depth on these scopes. Just wanted to do a quick video just to show you that, hey, I do have these two in. I'm really liking them so far. Obviously, I haven't mounted them yet. I haven't shot with them. Just playing with them, they do feel exactly what I'd expect out of all my other Discovery Optics stuff. The turrets are really, really nice. The form factor is good, apart from obviously the weight and stuff. I'm not that style of shooter, so I'm always going to be negative about that. It may be positive if that's the style of shooting you're doing. But just quickly, look, the turrets, really, really positive. And they're huge too, which is a benefit for shooting target. If you're doing quick adjustments, you can actually see it really well. Your focus adjustment is massive on this, and it is illuminated. So, you know, that's that one. This one's turrets. Once again, same. Quite nice. So this one's probably, I think they've angled this one more towards hunting, but I'm going to put that on my 22 target gun just to see how it goes. But yeah, anyway, that's those two scopes. So keep an eye out for in-depth reviews on both of those. I hope you got something out of that. I'll see you next video, and hooroo.